Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are here with your installment, albeit a little on the tardy side, of April's Saints.
And I will hold my hand up. I am the reason why we didn't have one of our normal filming days in April, so I'm responsible for this being late.
I was just gonna say that we were properly enjoying the Easter season,
but that's not
as
true.
It was.
I flaked.
All right.
I appreciate it though, buddy. I really do.
All right.
So belatedly, the Saints of April.
Yes, for April, our theme is popes.
Ooh.
Because as we've discussed multiple times earlier, in our lifetime, it seems like a given that the pope is going to die during the Easter season. So we had two popes in our lives that have died in April. John Paul II died April 2nd. Francis died April 21st.
When did Pope John Paul I die?
Oh,
Early October?
yeah.
Right.
It was shortly before John Paul II was elected.
Before either of us was born.
Yeah.
That's fair. I just, Yeah.
Yeah.
This does not hold for you. And so you have your two additional popes, neither of them died in April. Pope, without looking it up, Pope Paul was probably August of 78, because
A lovely time to be in Rome.
Sure.
I imagine.
Or in this case, die.
No.
Yeah. Go into his. He's a saint though, so go into his return reward.
Well, other people went to Rome because of it. So
Actually, Rome empties out in August. There's nobody in the city. They all go to the mountains because it's balls hot.
That's
okay,
true.
well, we're discussing popes that died in April, not August. Well, I assume they probably died in April. We'll get into the information for it.
We have a very small sample size because of the three popes that have died in my lifetime, only two of them were on the throne when they died, and they both died in April. So it seems like Pope dying season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benedict, as he wanted, died at a very different time of year where not as many people noticed because he hadn't been active pope for years. He finally got the obscurity he'd always longed for.
All right.
So who do we got?
So first up, we have Pope Sixtus I.
Also known as Sixtus, which is more fun. Sixtus.
He was born circa 42 in Rome, which was at the time part of the Roman Empire. Died 125 to 128, somewhere in the mid to late 120s.
Also in Rome.
Also in Rome, because,
most popes died.
Pope.
As Bishop of Rome. This fits.
He was pope from sometime starting between 1915 and 115 and 119.
Much like with his death dates, we've got a very solid mid to late 1-teens to a mid to late 120s.
Yes, and he died in
Somewhere there, but
125, 128.
Pope for about 10 years, give or take a little on the other side.
Probably at least 10, definitely not 15.
Yes, his feast day is April 6th. He was the pope after St. Alexander and the pope before St.
Telesphorus. Telesphorus.
That's awesome.
He was pope during the reign of Adrian,
Also known as Hadrian.
and is thought to have been martyred and buried near the tomb of St. Peter.
Which, as we now know, actually is the tomb of St. Peter. Thanks, archaeology.
Yay!
It's always fun. Pope Sixtus.
Yes, anytime they have a number after the names that are like, your name is a number.
Yeah.
He's Pope 61.
Although, to the best of my knowledge, there's never been a 66. Because people are like, that's 2/3 of the way to trouble, so we just want to avoid that. But I think there was a Sixtus V.
What if you could just jump one?
Let's just go immediately to Pope 6-7.
Yeah.
Sure. Who we got? Who's next?
I'm just imagining. The kids.
Well, now that we traumatized Jess, our work here is done.
Pope? 6-7.
Next is Pope St. Martin I, a.k.a. Martin the Confessor.
He was born 590 to 600. Once again, we go back far enough. The numbers all get a little fuzzy. Near Todi in Umbria, Eastern Roman Empire.
The place is now called Pian di San Martino, after him. But at this point in time, the Emperor Justinian had reconquered parts of Italy, and he was born in one of those parts. Mm-hmm. He died September the 16th, 655, in Kherson, the Eastern Roman Empire. This was very far from home because he was being punished.
Yes.
Pope from July 20... Here's where we can get specific, though. He was Pope from July 21st, 649... to either August 10th, 654, or September 16th, 655.
Mm-hmm. Their baptismal records were shaky. You know, exactly when the kid was born, but this continues with actors today. Oh, I'm actually 3 years older than my stated age. It's fine.
Yes.
But they definitely knew when he was Pope.
But even though none of those dates are April, his feast day is April 16th.
That's right.
And in the Byzantine rites, it's the 14th.
13th. April 13th. And in Byzantine, right, it's April 14th or April 27th. That's probably a shifting
Julian
to the
versus
Easter.
Gregorian.
Makes sense. Yep. Old style, new style. Fun.
Yep. He was of noble birth and was an abbot of the Order of St. Basil.
It's fun to say Basil.
Basil.
He was the papal legate to Constantinople during the reign of Theodore I, Pope Theodore I. And then he was elected Pope after Theodore's death, even though he was only a deacon, which was very common at the time. The deacons of Rome had more administrative power in the church than the priests.
Mm-hmm. And again,
our buddy St. Lawrence.
He had already been an abbot, just a layish abbot, because he had not been made a priest yet.
There's nothing about monastic leadership that requires you to be a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
As Pope, he was responsible for calling the Lateran Council of 649, in which monothelitism.
You had it right the first time.
Was I?
Yeah.
I had another.
Carry on.
Was condemned. So all you monothelites,
stop it.
Stop it.
So the monothelite heresy denies that Christ had two natures. We all know that he is a divine person, but they denied that he had both a divine nature and a human nature, thus denying his full incarnation.
No. They didn't deny his two natures. They denied
the wills.
The wills.
Gotcha.
So that essentially, the humanity of Jesus was essentially a puppet to whatever his God had said. Not that he, in his humanity as God, always chose to do what was the right thing.
Which is like a completely biblically indefensible position, because he's there in the garden saying, not as I will, but as you will.
If I don't have to do this, just say the word. I won't do it.
It's like, what?
But, please, only because you're telling me not to do it.
Let this cup pass for me, but I'll do whatever you need.
And as his, place of death, lets us know, this is important because it's going to, come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So his condemnation of monothelitism went against an edict of the Roman Emperor, Constans II, who then ordered the Pope to be arrested and sent to Constantinople.
It took a few years for the order to be carried out, at which time he was taken to Greece and then Constantinople, arriving there on September 17th, 655. Well, presumably, if he arrived there on September 17th, 655, then both of these...
Well, it could be...
I might have typoed. I wrote this 3 weeks ago.
Totally fair. Very close to his death.
Either way, yes, he arrived there with very little time left to live. And Patriarch Paul II saved him from being executed.
Saved.
Yeah. The Byzantine government then forced the election of a new pope while he was still alive, and Eugene I was elected. St. Martin was then banished to Kherson, where he died, and is the last pope recognized as a martyr.
Yes, so his multiple dates is depending on... There is some records that say that St. Martin essentially agreed with there being a new pope because he knew that he wasn't going to, go back to, Rome.
I'm a prisoner. So. I have no ability to carry out the office. Ergo, I resign. You take over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And everybody would be like, well, we really don't want to while you're still alive.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of the sad commentaries. He's the last pope to date to die a martyr. and he was martyred by other Christians. We got to get our shit together, guys.
Yeah.
Pardon my language, but... Next. One of the most fun papal names.
Yes. He is both the opposite of himself and himself.
He's
That's not
self-negating.
how it works.
Pope Anacletus, also known as Pope Cletus.
Which is great. Especially because we think of Cletus as some bumpkin hick name.
I constantly think of Cletus the slack-jawed yokel from The Simpsons.
Pope Cletus. Or Anacletus.
His vestments are just a white tank top that is really long.
He was born approximately 15 in Rome. He died approximately 92, also in Rome. He was Pope from about 76 or 80 to about 88 or 92. So, which means if it was 88, then his death was 88.
Once again, one of those ones where it was at least 10 years, but, it was at least 10 years, but it wasn't quite 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll call it a good dozen.
Yeah.
But remember, at the time, the popes were being martyred, so there wasn't anybody who had the free time to keep really accurate records.
That's fair.
They were dying all the time.
Yep. His feast day is April 26th. St. Linus was the pope before him, and Clement I was the one after.
So, if your priest uses the Roman canon on Sundays, you'll recognize his name.
In the long list of names that you have to hope this
Linus,
is not the ASL
Cletus,
now.
Linus, Cletus, Clement, those guys. And I know that both Linus and Clement are mentioned in the scriptures. I don't remember if there's an explicit reference to Cletus or Anacletus.
No.
I did not check this.
He was thought to have been consecrated by St. Peter and to have divided Rome into 25 parishes. He was martyred and is thought to have been buried in the Vatican Necropolis near Peter's tomb.
Which, again, makes sense, because he was only a couple popes after. They still had space in the hidden parts of the underground where they were putting all the popes. And you just drawing little fishies and
I like to refer to it as the Papal Grotto.
In later days, yes.
Yes.
The Ersatz Papal Grotto. Now, Cletus or Anacletus? I don't know Greek well.
Cletus, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which...
Nope,
yeah,
Cletus.
Which is more legit. It's just fun that
irrelevant.
His name is opposite.
Irrelevant.
Sure.
It's Cletus.
Although,
because I really, really want slack-jawed yokel pope.
Sure. Well, just we call you Nate or Anna Nate.
And also,
Nate or Anti-Nate.
I'm pretty sure Anna does not mean the opposite of in this situation. It just is so close to Auntie.
Yep.
All right, and we've got one more pope who has a feast day in April.
Saint Pius V, also known as Antonio Ghisleri, also known as Michel.
He was born January the 17th, 1504, so we're jumping quite a number of centuries
Hence
later.
the last name and everything.
Yeah. In Bosco Moreno, the Duchy of Milan. He died the 1st of May, 1572, in Rome, which then was not part of the Roman Empire, but the Papal States.
He was pope from January 7th, 1566, to May 1st, 1572, but his feast day is April 30th. I assume it's probably something, May 1st, April 1st, 30th are pretty close.
Yep.
And,
that's my guess. Yeah.
There might have been... I don't know if by then St. Joseph the Worker was May Day, but,
It wasn't St. Joseph the Worker, but, May Day... Long before the communists had it, and St. Joseph the Worker was an antidote to that, it was always a big spring day. It's May Day.
Yeah.
Of course, here in Michigan... The temperatures are supposed to plunge on May 1st, which is going to be fun.
We're supposed to have one more snow.
Yep.
His attributes are a Dominican habit.
That's why he has two names.
Yep.
He was born Antonio Ghisleri, and then in religious life he was known as Michael. Michele.
And then in papal life, he was like, I am Pius. The fifth Pius.
Yeah.
Also, papal vestments, a papal tiara. Yes. A crucifix, and a book.
He's a patron of very many places.
his papal motto,
Ooh.
"Oh, that my ways may be directed to keep thy justifications."
And I wrote it in Latin too, in case the guys want to attempt that.
Utinum
Diligantur viae meae ad custodiendas justificationes.
Remember, there's no...
Yes, there's no J. Justificationes tuas.
Well, there probably is a J in ecclesiastical Latin. Not in classical Latin, but...
But in either case,
if
if you are a Latin professor, please, by all means, reach out and let me know how bad I did.
Also, tell all of your students to subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Occasionally, we mispronounce Latin, and you can make a lesson out of it. Be like, five grammatical mistakes they did in this one sentence.
We're very skilled. We mispronounce all languages that aren't English, and sometimes English.
No.
At the age of 14, he entered the Dominican order. He was ordained a priest in 1528.
He then was sent to lecture for 16 years, becoming master of novices, and made a prior was made a prior multiple times.
So, he was recognized and he had authority within the Dominican order.
Yep. He was made a bishop and a cardinal.
And the next one you will never guess.
Ooh.
No one ever expects it.
Well, technically, they don't expect that other one.
Yeah.
But no one expects the Roman Inquisition either.
He was the Inquisitor General / Secretary of the Supremum Sacred Congregation of the Roman and Universal Inquisition.
Yes! The Holy Inquisition.
Everyone, just a moment for mentally singing the Inquisition song to yourself.
If he told you you were a heretic,
you were
a heretic.
But again, in proper Dominican fashion, he would very calmly explain to you the 17 ways in which you were a heretic.
But I'm just saying,
very finely parsed.
If this guy says you're a heretic,
you're totally a heretic.
And everybody you go to and be like, no. Mm-hmm. Look, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not a heretic. They're going to look at you and go, that guy knows what he's talking about better than anybody else who knows what he's talking about.
Well, I mean,
you're a heretic, and you need to get yourself right with God.
This is the guy that released all Catholics from loyalty to Elizabeth I for being a heretic. So,
yes,
yes,
he was made pope after Pius the surprisingly IV died. No jumping numbers.
As pope, he standardized the Mass with the 1570 edition of the Roman Missal, which was the Tridentine Mass.
So remember, for those of you who may not think that the church has any authority to ever modify or change the Mass,
this guy did it, and he's a saint.
Remember, the Tridentine Mass that you may love so much was itself somewhat changed from earlier Masses when they standardized things after Trent.
Yes. He mandated it for the Latin Rite, excluding Masses that were within so long old. So if you had like the really, really old, it's like biblical saint named level almost Mass, that was fine. But otherwise they're like, we're doing the new Mass.
In the city of Milan, they still have the Ambrosian Rite, and they have a slightly different liturgy.
Yes.
The Dominicans still have their own slightly different liturgy.
Be like, all right, I know you said it in Greek. Now we're going to all say it in Latin, except for the Kyrie. We've all decided for all time that one's good in Greek.
Love it.
Except for, of course, I love the Google Translate one. I don't know if it still does it, where you write in Kyrie eleison in the proper Greek.
Back Kyrie eleison.
No, sir, take it easy.
That's right.
Sir, take it easy. Messiah, take it easy. Sir, take it easy.
It's one-upping when we sing "Lord, when you came to the seashore" in the Spanish version. Just essentially, just say "sir."
You say "senor" so many times.
St. Pius V was also the person responsible for making declaring Thomas Aquinas the fifth Doctor of the Church.
A Dominican, a big fan of Thomas? That's hard to believe.
Yes.
Wow. But notice, only the fifth Doctor of the Church.
Yes.
So before this, you had really old people from back when all the other popes we've been talking about in April were martyred.
Yeah.
So
this is like the first relatively modern Doctor of the Church. Well, for the people that were modern to that, were contemporary to that time.
Yeah, although in the way that we divide time, we still consider the 1500s the early modern period.
Yes.
Because it's not ancient and it's not medieval.
No, it's not. No, I'm sorry.
And
It's ancient.
As he already discussed, he did the
Periodization
thing
is
for
variable.
Elizabeth I, who spoke modern English.
Ish. Forsooth.
Look.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Shakespeare's alive at this time.
If you were to take most everybody who lived today and drop them out back past 1600, most of them aren't gonna make it.
I'm more than willing to have a long discussion about periodization, but the general theme of things is before the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 is ancient. Between 476 and then either the fall of Constantinople in 1453 or the discovery of the Americas in 1492 is medieval or the Middle Ages. And then everything since then is the modern era.
All right, so why don't you do the next fact because you will love it.
And then will.
Nate can do the fact after that because he'll hate it.
So he helped to create the Holy League, and it said that he miraculously knew the outcome of the Battle of Lepanto from Rome.
Yes, that one.
So he gathers up a ragtag fleet of Venetians and Spaniards and whatnot to go fight the Ottomans.
Gets a bunch of grannies to pray the rosary.
Most importantly, gets a whole bunch of grannies to pray the rosary.
They were what we would now refer to as Italian grannies. So I mean,
all over Europe, there was a section.
But there were a whole. There were a bunch of old Italian ladies in that group.
And again, they would have
Roman ladies.
The Spanish had the Philippines by this point. The only reason why they probably didn't have a whole bunch of Filipinas praying the rosary is just it took communications too long to travel there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they totally would have been.
By the time word got there, the battle was over.
Now, we do come to the... Nate has the sad duty of covering the less good parts of his legacy.
Most people would not say it's less good.
Less good!
One part of it.
He was
he saved Western civilization by organizing and winning the Battle of Lepanto. But, on the negative side...
he was for reducing the cost of the papal court and living more in keeping with the ways... Of the Dominican order.
And as far as that goes, that's fantastic.
One of the first things he did as Pope was dismiss the court just... How can you say this isn't the bad news?
I'm just saying.
Get it?
It starts off with the good. He's reducing costs, but I know you're going to be like, he got rid of the court jester.
He got rid of the court, the papal court jester.
And there has never been a papal
court jester since.
Though, if we're feeling unkind, we could apply that label to certain Vatican journalists, but we're not feeling unkind.
He also forbade horse racing in St. Peter's Square. Now, St. Peter's Square does not feel big enough to get a proper horse race going anyways.
Seriously, you're going to get dizzy.
It's a circle, and it's not small, but it's not big. It's medium.
But now back to the good.
He also cracked down on hired killers, blasphemy, adultery. But he did do many charitable works like almsgiving, importing grain during a famine. He improved the water and the sewer system. He then did die from bladder stones and weakness due to the extensive fasting. The weakness that he had due to extensive fasting did not help his condition. He was followed by Pope Gregory the 13th. The Great?
No, that's the first.
That was like the first.
Oh, okay.
Because we've commented many times, why would you pick Gregory? You can never be the best Gregory. It's like the reason why
he wanted to be Gregory the second best.
You're aware that there's a Leo the Great.
Yes.
Yes. And I still stand by. He just picked the shortest name he could find because he used to be calling Bob. And
fair enough. What else has 3 letters? What papal name has 3 letters? I can't be Pope Bob.
So, anyways, there are your popes there are your sainted popes for the month of April.
Mm-hmm.
They are great examples, great intercessors, and may they continue to pray for all of us.
And may some future pope bring back the papal court jester.
Bob, we're looking at you.
I'm not sure what reason for, other than the fact of court jester.
So, comment below with your favorite popes who probably should have, but may have not died in April.
And if by some chance you know of one that we missed, I don't think we missed any, but if you know of one that we missed, put them down there just in case.
Especially for the earlier ones, they don't know their Pope, Saint so-and-so, or...
Yeah, and they died in, like, 650.
Oh, yeah, it's not until, like, you get to the 300s that you run into Pope Liberius, who's the first one who's not sainted, which is like, oh...
it's one of those things where it's like, Saint Cletus. Is that the Pope one? It's like, Pope. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you put that on his name?
Well, because, like, for Pope Cletus, you don't need to. For St. Cletus, I don't know that we have another St. Cletus. For Pope Martin I, you definitely do.
There's a lot of Martins.
And people assume, if you just say St. Martin, they assume you mean Martin of Tours.
Yeah. Anyways, go down below. Tell us what you think about our popes. Maybe you have another month of which you would like popes that died in that... Sainted popes that died in that month.
Or any other monthly theme we could use for saints.
Yep. We are still looking for things to do for June, July, August, September, October, November. And,
next April.
Yeah. So,
give us
stuff.
Like.
Hit the subscribe button, the bell next to it so you get notified. As always, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.